Hi everybody, this is Casey Copeland, and this is Module 5, Understanding my Community, Garden City High School. So the first slide is no custom and tradition. So there are several different academic standards that go on in the high school, both high and low. This is a 6A school. There are regular classes and honors and AP. There's lots of standards. Everyone takes the ACT if they're going into college. Everyone has to take the state standard tests, academic standard tests, and things like that. I feel like there's some very high academic standards for a lot of students, and then there's students that are also know that they're not going to go to college, so they just do what they need to. Some students can feel very isolated. In the high school, there are 4 different academies. There's a freshman academy, where it's basically only freshmen. Public service academy mainly focuses on students that are going to go into public service fields, arts communication, and health and trade. After their freshman year, students are then need choose their academy that they're going to be going into. It's based on what kind of career they're going to have after high school. It can be an awesome thing for them, but then it can also be kind of scary because they're having to kind of pick what they're going to be doing after freshman year. You can switch after that first year. You can switch academies, and there have been students that go from the public service academy to the red academy to health and trade. So it's definitely, some can feel very isolated by grade level, especially, so freshmen are all by themselves. And then for the most part, obviously they have band and choir and some extracurricular stuff together, but for the most part they're separated. Freshmen are separated from the higher grade levels, and then sophomores, juniors, and seniors are kind of mixed in together in their academy. They do have all like sophomore classes, junior classes together, like English and math and things like that, but other than that, they're kind of mixed. Students tend to stick to specific cliques, the band kids, and then, kids that play sports. Sometimes there is a little bit of crossover, kids that, play football or in band, and kids that play different sports. It kind of sometimes mixes. And then usually, theater kids are in the band and choir. It can kind of mix a little bit, but usually they stick pretty close to their cliques. There's a few study groups after school, but they're pretty rare. There's night school. Math and history night schools are Mondays and Wednesdays, and then English is technically Tuesdays and Thursdays. I guess that could count as a study group, but for the most part, there's usually not any study groups. Kids will come in if they need questions, but there's usually no study groups. There are a wide variety of clubs and after-school programs. Kids can come up with them together and go to the school board, or they can be school ran. There's a trap club. Oh my god, there's so many. I know there's an anime club, League of Legends. There's so many that are clubs and things like that. So it's really great for the students to be able to get together. Hispanic dance is very awesome. The students are largely Hispanic. It's about 70% Hispanic at Garden City High School. But they usually don't stick to ethnic groups like all the Hispanics stick to one group, and African American, things like that. They're very varied. Usually the kids are friends with everyone from what I see. The class size is usually pretty large. It can vary between 22 and 31. The smaller classes are going to be about 20, 21. I've seen larger classes, like health classes, where they are 31 kids in one classroom. It's very, very difficult for children to be there, so it can kind of hinder the learning experience, but sometimes there are smaller classes as well. Teachers tend to teach several sections of one class. For example, I teach 6 sections of freshman English every day. One of the health teachers across the hall from me teaches 3 classes of health science, and then 3 classes of intro to health science, 2 different classes. so she could see a kid twice. And then some traditions that they have: the homecoming and the football season and basketball season, one in the fall and one in the spring. And then prom. Prom's a pretty big deal. And that's in the spring as well. Kids tend to, there's lots of different sports at the school. Football game turnout is usually larger than volleyball or baseball. Wrestling is very big here. Basketball is okay. Wrestling and football seem to be the biggest. This year we just got a boys swimming team. There's also a girls swimming team. Debate, forensics and debate are kind of like behind everyone. Soccer, track, cross country, and tennis. Those are some of the sports that we have, and they, kids do get involved in like football, and some get involved in basketball games and things like that. Usually sports can sometimes not have a lot of people come and things like that. We do have quite a bit of community involvement. Theater, band, choir. There's usually a very large theater turnout. Just a month ago, they did Alice in Wonderland, and a lot of people came. Before that, they did In the Heights. Usually it's a very good turnout. Band and choir as well. The community likes to come and watch what the students are doing, which is great for all the students. And then on here, I put our mission statement that you can find online, gckschools.com. It's our mission. It goes into and our vision and things like that. You can find this on our webpage, obviously, but I just wanted to give a snapshot. I don't want to go over every single thing, but this is what the vision kind of is and our mission of what the schools in the district are. There are quite a few schools in the district, not just the high school or elementary, junior high, things like that. There is just the one high school and then an alternative high school as well. 2 junior highs, KH, Kenneth Henderson, and Horace Good, and then several elementaries and early childhood centers. So there's actually quite a few schools in our district. And I'm just focusing on the one high school in the district. We are as of right now, the 6th largest in the state of Kansas. We are a 6A school. There's usually between 2,000 and 2,100 students every year. So the population characteristics, educational level, many are low income. 65% of the students that go to school at Garden City High School are economically disadvantaged compared to the state's average of about 50. So there's definitely more low income, but there are all levels of education. There's, higher master level teachers, parents, and middle class and low income. There's all levels of education in there, and income levels, sorry. The age of the students, since it's just a high school, it's just freshman through senior year, there's about 2,100 students usually that are enrolled from 14 to 19. There's more freshmen, about 600 to 650 more freshmen because of the early graduation requirements. They can graduate their junior year if they get enough credits and things like that. The gender in the schools is really very even, 50% girls and 50% boys. Sometimes you'll see, especially in my classes, more heavy girls, and one section more heavy boys. But it's pretty even. The occupation of the parents in the school are mostly blue collar, I feel. Tyson is the #1 employer in the county, followed by the school district. So it is white collar and blue collar as well. Very varied. There's meatpacking plants around here too, as well as Tyson. And then obviously businesses and restaurants and things like that. Nationality, there, like I said, is 70% Hispanic students, 70% Hispanic, 21% white, 1.5% African American, and 7% other. Somalian, I think, fits in the other. In the last several years, there have been a lot of Somalian immigrants coming to this part to work at the Tyson plant and the meatpacking plants. So that's been interesting, trying to get them into the school system and get them ready, especially the ones that are 14, 15 that speak no English. And then every year, one of the heads of the SPED department sends out a list of languages and birth countries that our students are from. And we have 30 languages this year, 30 birth countries, about 54 students, and this was at the beginning of the year, so we've gained several. So no communications channels. We do have a school website, and I do have a picture of the schools and the school website, and you can click on the school that you want to go to and things like that. And then we rely very heavily on email and phone calls. I communicate with my students and the parents through emailing progress reports, and then calling them if there's an issue with the child, or if they're failing and things like that. There is a radio station at the school, as well as a student-led newspaper, and then the website. Many teachers and the school uses Twitter and Facebook. Facebook's a great, if I don't know a sports score and I want to, about the football game and things like that, I can go to Facebook really quickly and look and see. So, and many teachers utilize Twitter in a way that's fantastic, and especially in the lower levels as well. Memos and letters usually go out in Spanish and English. Like, English will be on one side and Spanish will be on the other, since such a high population of the school is Hispanic and other than English. There is an issue with the fact that I don't speak Spanish, and all of my students speak English, but many of the students have parents that don't speak any English. So translators are needed when making phone calls. And then parent-teacher conferences, there's a shortage of translators always. And so sometimes the students will translate. So it's always interesting. And then email and remind for students and parents. And then email and phone calls for parents. So the students, and there is an app called Remind that many teachers utilize for talking with students, and it's kind of messaging, but it's much better. We have an app instead of giving them our phone number and stuff, but if teachers or students have questions, they can always email me, and they know that. So that's been really great for opening communication channels, and kids, well, you have your iPad, which has email, so you could have emailed me. Community groups. There are lots of different community groups. Band, when I say band is huge. There's a very large community here who's very into band and supporting the band, and there's band club, and the teachers get involved and fundraise. So there's a big community group there, and then choir and theater kids, there's several kids that get involved in that too. And the athletic community groups come together. Coaches from different schools come together and do different things. I feel like the biggest group is athletic. More students and parents seem to be involved in athletic programs than other ones. So the community group is very involved in what's going on and how to fundraise and things like that. Outside groups, there's like Boy Scouts. I see several students in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and then church. There are several different churches around here that kids and parents are involved in and fundraise for, and things like that. You see constantly kids coming in to ask questions about fundraising and things like that for the church. And then the school board members are their own kind of group that get together and determine what is best for the school community. Business leaders in the community as well. Partnerships in the community, YMCA, United Way, shelters. There has been quite a few fundraising opportunities that the school has done to help the shelters and the United Way, the homeless people in the community, as well as the students that don't have money for coats and things like that. The school has done a great job with trying to identify what students are in the need of the most help and helping them, and which is fantastic. So we're very in the community with the school were very involved in helping the kids that needed the most, and fundraising and getting kids out there to help and to do things. And